Hello everyone, welcome to Nation Wars Season 2, Week 2. Today we're going to have the English cast. Yesterday was a Spanish cast. Now these are the results from Week 1, if you can see. Just give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. These are results from Week 1. We have Poland at the top of the standings, tied with Canada. If you remember from last season, these were top 2 teams. So it looks like they're strong teams again this season. Brief recap. It's 6 sets played. So if you see a score that doesn't add up to 6, that means there was a mutual walkover where a match wasn't played. That's why Bolivia and Peru only have 1 point. Let's go into what we're gonna cast today. Alright, there we go. So these are matchups for Week 2. And today we're going to cast Sweden against Germany and Poland against USA. Yesterday's cast showed Bolivia, Peru, and the European team against Canada. Peru won 4-3 with our very first ace match. And Canada won 5-1 against Team Europe. So today we're going to go into this cast and here are the matchups. We're going to start off with Bakuryu against Stormtoss. It's 6 sets. If it gets to a 6th set and it's tied 3-3 after that, then there's going to be an ace match. For now, this is where we're going to cast. Even if the result is 5-0 after 5, we're going to cast the 6th set. One thing that's new is this week's 2v2 map. It's going to be Iron Curtain. I'm excited to cast that. Never seen a game on that map before until the recent Korean Team League. And as a result of the, I guess, variety and success of entertainment, lots of entertaining matches on that map, lots of variety, we decided to include it in this season of Nation Wars. So let's just jump into game 1. I think we're ready. Are we ready? Alright, looks like this is off. There we go. So in the top right spawn, as the red Zerg, we have LRM Bakuryu. Recent winner of the last season of BSL Gosu League. And in the bottom left corner, as the green Protoss, we have the Swedish player Stormtoss. 1, 2, 3. Don't know much about Stormtoss. All I know is he defeated me pretty one-sidedly in Week 1 of Nation Wars. Low APM player, as you can see, but that doesn't mean anything when you're Protoss. Here we have the pylon from Stormtoss immediately going out for the scout. Likely going to be a Forge Fast expand. Overlord sees the probe incoming, so if Bakuryu was going to go for a 12 hatch, that's no longer an option. But we see him just throw down the hatchery, the pool, so it's going to be an overpool. Probe getting the full scout. We see a probe heading to the natural. And he's going to make a fort. Let's see how his wall. Alright, decent wall. Looks like a gateway goes on the right there. Making a couple drones already. He's going to go up to 11. Let's see. Full saturation in the main. And here comes the first drone heading towards the net. He could go scout with this. But nope, looks like just going to be the net hatchery. Probe not interested in delaying that hatchery at all. Around 2 minutes, Zerg can make that hatchery, so a Protoss can be annoying. Especially on a 2-player map. Just blocking that hatchery with a quick pylon or generally being annoying. Now Baguiu's pool is done. We're gonna see first 2 links are being made. Cannon from Storm Toss, curious enough, because he sees its overpool, and a 2-player map has a longer rush distance than regular maps. You can see they just spawn diagonally, naturally. Looks like Baku's gonna make only 2 links. And Storm Toss behind this cannon, and then Nexus. Let's put this up a little. Gateway from Storm Toss. Baku sent the drone to take the 3rd hatchery at the 3rd base. His gas was a little fast. Let's see if it hits where he can make all his buildings and have enough for lair when he hits 100 gas. Overlord taking a little bit of damage. Looks like he was focused on this probe a little too much. Probe only actually hasn't lost any health at all. Pylon going down from Storm Toss. Next is then about halfway done. Really annoying, this probe. Sometimes you see Zergs go for 4 lings just to kill this probe and then hide whatever they're going to transition to better. But we see a lair just going up instantly. And there's the Overlord in the main. Probe is still alive, so even if Baku was going to go for a fake lair into some kind of Hydra bust, it's not going to happen now. And there's the probe leaving the main. Gonna go scout the 3rd location. Not much is happening. 2nd Overlord heading towards the front. The 1st Overlord in the main to confirm tech, and the 2nd just to see if any Zealots move out. It's very important to see if Protoss moves out with any Zealots. It'll let you know if how many lings you need, if you need lings at all. If 2 is fine. There's link speed from Baku. And there's the 1st Zealot heading out. Now Baku sees this with this Overlord. He should respond by making links. And there are a couple more links being added. Zealot looks like it's going to head straight towards the 3rd. There's a Stargate. Baku now retreats the Overlord, confirming the tech from Protoss. You see both Overlords heading back towards the Zerg base. Some drones heading towards the 3rd. We see 1 link still on this probe. Another Zealot heads out. Links from Baku not in position to defend this. Is he adding more lings, or is he just going to stay with the 6? There's a Spire. 1 drone, very low on health. Alright, Zealot finding a good position here behind the mineral line. Going to be hard for links to trade against this efficiently. Only 2 lings are able to hit it. 2nd Zealot looks like it's actually going to head back. And now this Zealot could have actually done more damage to Baku. Baku didn't add more lings. You can see he just droned up. He only has 2 lings left over after that 1 Zealot. There's +1 air, Corsairs, 2nd gateway. No Citadel quite yet. There's a Citadel. Baku just droning up. You really want to hit that 30 drone number as soon as you can. You can see you can add the mineral patches. There's 8. There's 9 and 7. Quick math makes 24 plus 2 gas is 30. To get the most efficient mineral mining, you want those 30 drones as Zerg before you start producing any more units. There's the 1st Corsair, gonna get a full scout. Trying to see where the Overlords are. You can see the path from the Corsair just barely missed these 2 Overlords. Corsair sees the Spire, so should retreat before trying to take out any Overlords. Getting the scout is valuable enough. You receive 1 Overlord, but Scourge should be in time to defend that, so Storm Toss just heads all the way back. Not producing any more Corsairs, only making 2 and getting +1. Citadel with Zealot speed on the way, and he's adding Zealots now. And there's the Archive. 630 Archives. That's going to be a good Archive's going to have a good storm timing to defend from this 1st Hydra counter pressure. You see Baku already at the 30 drone number, and now he's going to start making Hydras. Getting Hydra speed, Overlord speed, and +1 all at the same time. Here's the 1st set of Scourge. Now it's important to get these Scourge out just to scout what Protoss is doing, what the follow-up is, how many Corsairs they're making, what's their gateway count like. Here comes the first 2. I'm gonna remove Protoss Division just to see what Bakuryu sees. He sees the Stargate still producing Corsairs. He wants to see the archives timing if it's already up. Number of gateways. He sees the second gateway and he saw the cybernetics core still spinning. Let's look at Bakuryu's drone saturation. So he has 9. Let's look at the natural. 8. And then 7 here. So he has 1 too many at his net, 1 too few at his third, but not a big deal. And here comes the first Zealot move out. Roughly around 7:30. No Corsairs to support. Looks like the Corsairs just staying back. And Bakuryu is well defended here. Good SimCity allows only the Zealots to hit from the bottom of this hatch, so he just positions his units here. Can't get a ton of surface area like that. And the other Hydras at the ramp. Now this is only 9 Hydras. Not enough to deal with this many Zealots in the open field. But without Corsair support, not much these Zealots can do. And you can see Bakuryu droning up again. Added a few drones. Has enough Hydras to defend. You'd see 6 hatch going down. Speed should be done, and there's Hydra range. And now it's Bakuryu's turn to get out on the map and put some pressure on. Unfortunately, forgot some Overlords here. Really needs these to finish. DT gonna head out and scout. Gonna look for bases. Actually, 2 DTs. Just looking for a 4th base. This is around the time Zerg wants to take that 4th base with their 7th hatchery. And there's a drone heading towards that base. Overlord gonna spot the CT critically. Looks like hatchery goes down DT. Nope. DT retreats. Nope. Commits. There's no Bakuryu actually sees it, so just a DT giving up here. But he does get the scout on the 4th base. Zealots at the front trying to pressure, but Bakuryu has more than enough Hydras. You can see he only made a few more drones and then back into Hydras. Hydra range done. Here is the lurkers. Is he gonna get a 3rd gas? Looks like no 3rd gas quite yet. And here comes the first big attack from Bakuryu. Now Storm Toss does have High Templars. He already has 4 cannons. Not making any more High Templars. And he has 2nd Forge, so it's going to be a big investment in tech. It's going to hurt his army count a little bit. You can see he's still only on 6 gateways. Let's see, his Robo just finished, so pretty fast Robo. Or he has Corsairs with +1. So if a Muniswitch were to happen, he at least has the upgrade. Bakuryu poking at the front, not really committing to snipe this Forge. Looks like this cannon's very well placed. I just can't range the Forge. Of course, it's harder to kill Forges when they're vertically positioned like this, as opposed to a Forge over here. Imagine this were a Forge, you can see the cannon won't be able to cover it as well. Bakuryu's still without a 3rd gas now. This is key. His 3rd gas is quite late actually, so all these Hydras he's making, it's not gonna allow him to produce a ton of lurkers. He only has enough for 2 lurkers currently. You can see he's also getting double upgrades from his evolution chambers carry base. So he at least is gonna max the Protoss. Now Protoss trying to move out, but without Storm, Zealots don't trade well against this number of Hydras. First Storm, kind of a whiff, and you can see he only has 3 High Templars, so it's gonna be very risky for him to move out. Alright, damages the Hydras enough that Bakuryu is forced to retreat. Bakuryu droning his 4th base. He's still quite low on drones considering he's on 4 bases. Looks like he transferred from his 3rd. Nat is fine. Main still a little bit low. And here comes the first few lurkers, but as you can see, he has almost no gas. Adding his 3rd gas down. Now he's going to need even more drones considering he's taking drones off minerals to make this gas. And here we go. So Bakuryu just playing this smart. He actually could have gotten away with more droning considering Protoss is on 2 Forge. Against 2 Forge, the Protoss is timing attack is going to be a lot slower. They are investing in a 2nd Forge, in another upgrade. I like how he's positioning his Hydras preemptively in case there is an attack. This will minimize the amount of damage they take from storms. We have 4, 6, 8 gateways from Protoss, so it's going to be a very delayed third. When you go for 8 gateways like this and a double Forge, you're really investing in your army. Looks like the probe is going to head out towards the 3rd base at this 5 o'clock position. Ling already there to scout. And here comes the first big attack from Protoss. You can see now Bakuryu finally with this 3rd gas, you can start making more lurkers. Still not a considerable lurker number, looks like 1 DT. This was the initial DT that was out scouting for the 4th base in the bottom right. And there's +2 from Protoss, so very fast +2 armor, a little bit lagging behind, but Zerg is only on 1-0. You can see their upgrades are about to finish. Queen's Nest done for Bakuyu, but this is a vulnerable moment for Zerg when they're switching into Lings. They don't really have that much gas. See Bakuyu taking that 4th gas now. Actually has a 5th base going up, double gas base at top left. Here comes the first big attack from Protoss. We can see no lurkers here quite yet, only has about 4 or 5 lurkers, and they're not burrowed quite yet. Sometimes moving forward, he has to be careful here. This is a good arc from Bakuyu. Looks like he's trying to go in. Doesn't have that many storms. Storms a big clump of units here at the front. High Templar is moving too far forward, and huge storms. No storm dodging at all from Bakuyu, just moving his units into this. Now he does manage to force Protoss back, but those storms did a ton of damage. Looks like Protoss just a little bit short on storms there. Now these upgraded units are extremely powerful, but Bakuyu's upgrades just finished as well. And now he's moving forward with his lurkers. Has to be a little bit careful. Are there any storms left? It looks like there's only 1 storm left. Again, no storm dodge from Bakuyu. And somehow convincingly wins that fight. The Protoss convincingly won that like 2nd fight without any storm. You can see the power up, the upgrades. These things, they're only going to be able to do 3 damage to these Dragoons. They don't have any weapons damage upgrades. No crack quite yet. Queen's Nest only about halfway done. Does manage to kill that base, or that last High Templar. Now we're going to head into the 3rd base. If these had crack, maybe they could kill a Nexus, but unlikely now. Now we see Bakuyu adding more hatcheries, of course, when you go for Hive, and then you switch into Lings. Lings are extremely cheap, so you see Zerg adding hatcheries during this time, but you can see Bakuyu's drone count is still not at a healthy enough number, considering he's on 4, soon to be 5 bases. You can see his mineral lines. This mineral line is healthy, but his main, every time he makes a building, he needs to replenish that drone, and you can see doesn't have quite the drone saturation he would want. Same thing at his 3rd. When he made the 3rd gas, needed to add a few more drones, and barely 1 per patch is Bakuyu right now. Protoss is only on just taking the 3rd base, so it's not like his economy is great either, but you can see the power of his army currently. There's weapons 3 from Protoss. And now 2 upgrade on the Solids. You can see the Lings, they don't have any weapons upgrades quite yet. Being researched right now. Bakuyu does have 3 evolution chambers. Crack, about 40% done. So it's going to be another key timing for Protoss if he can attack before that is done. Bakuyu finally joining up. You can see 52 drones is a much healthier number. And he can distribute his drones better, but you can see his main still lacking behind. Some patches aren't even being mined. Here comes Storm Toss again, and now you can see Bakuyu's army is actually pretty small. Storm Toss patiently moving forward, has enough Dragoons just to shoot at these lurkers. Doesn't have to waste any storms on them. Here we go. Very patiently. Only 2 High Templars in the back, but not enough Zerg here. Here comes Bakuyu moving forward. Huge storm on the Lings. Another Hydra clump here. Somewhat dodging it is Bakuyu this time, but Storm Toss is just powering through, and this is going to be a key timing here. Crack just finished, Consume about halfway done, but none of Bakuyu's upgrades have kicked in. He's trying to make a sunken, but it's just too late. Storm Toss reinforcing this well. Looks like he actually left even 2 High Templars behind, just moving forward with pure Dragoons and some Zealot support. The upgrades really telling the story here. All these links Bakuyu's making not really helping in this fight. Transferring drones back into his main and even making a creep. He does have 5 bases versus only 1 from Protoss. Protoss is mining out of his main and natural, but it doesn't matter. The army difference is just too big. Of course, there's even getting some Overlord kills, and I think that's it. Well, Storm in the middle line. All of his Protoss units just barreling into the Zerg main. He's even leaving half of his units here. Dragoons and High Templars will cut off any Zerg incoming units. Bakuryu does have units looking for a third base. He doesn't realize, fourth base, but it doesn't matter. When the army difference is big, Bakuryu can't produce anymore. He's losing all his tech, hatcheries. He does finally have an upgrade for these links, so he's decently upgraded, but they just hit too late. Storm on the Lings. We said we had a ton of production here, but again, Baku coming in for the flank just doesn't have quite enough. Decent storms from Protoss, but the upgrades are really what's allowing him to win these fights. And with that, GG. Bakuryu wins. There we go. Forgot to add the scorekeeper, but whatever. So Bakuryu loses game 1-2 Storm Toss, and Sweden is up 1-0. Let's look at the rest of the matchups. Looks like we have a PvP. It's going to be the first of 2 PvPs. We're going to go into Oya against Remag on Fighting Spirit. If there's an ace, I forgot to mention, if there's an ace, the ace is always going to be the same as the first map. So in this case, it would be Eclipse. Let's just go right into game 2 between Sweden and Germany. Alright, in the bottom left corner, as the white Protoss, we have IRK Oya. And in the bottom right corner, as the teal Protoss from Germany, we have Remag. Well, the map is Fighting Spirit, everyone's favorite map. Should be good. Let's add the score. Is it this? Yeah, there it is. So currently it's 0. To 1. Score 1. Both Protoss is making a pylon in the main. Looks like none of that proxy business in PvP. There we go. Gateway from Oya, no scout quite yet, and a gateway from Remag. And he is gonna scout. You can already see a little bit of mineral difference from these two players, just with that earlier scout. And we have 12 gas from Oya, so he's playing standard, and also from Remag, but his gas just a little bit later, you can see. Now Remag is gonna scout Oya first, and let's see if Oya... Looks like Oya is gonna head into the middle map. So you're going for a Zealot, then in their pylon, so not going to be instant core. Meanwhile, Zealot as well from our German Protoss. Oya scouts the middle just to check if there's double gateway, playing it safe. So he really wants to, Remag really wants to get a mana pylon in. Hard to differentiate these colors. Oya's first Zealot already out, and there's Remag's. No Cybernetics core quite yet. Does actually get supply blocked here, so this is pretty painful. Now this building positioning makes me a little nervous. If it ever gets into the later game, you can see retreating Dragoons back into the main. If there's a Reaver position right here, it's going to be awkward. They're going to have to go either behind or through the mineral line or around this gateway. You really want a free-flowing base in PvP. Not so much in PvT. In PvT, you want to wall off. And there's a second gateway from Oya. Now what happened? Yeah, Remags. It's probe died to this Zealot. So this is actually huge. Now Oya can do whatever he wants basically, and we see him adding a second gateway. There's the first Dragoon being made. We're gonna see range soon. Instant range and Dragoon from Remag. Probe is still alive, so this is really good for Oya. Oya can now confirm there's not going to be DT, or if it is DT, it's going to be slightly delayed. Even adding a pylon here is huge. Gonna really hurt the mineral income of Remag just for a little bit. Trying to glitch that probe through, just keeping it alive as long as possible, getting as much information behind this. Here come the 2 gateway. First Dragoon is out. Another Manor Pylon. Even leaving the first Manor Pylon alive. Now this might be a little too much from Oya. He'll probably cancel this second one. Let's look at the number of kills he's had. So they have 2 kills, the probe died. And there's a cancel on that. Second gateway for Remag. Is he gonna add a 3rd gateway as well? 3 gateway. And from Oya, 2 gateways. But you can see Oya's second gateway is much faster than Remag's. Every pylon that Oya made, I see 4 gateways from Remag, so he's just gonna go all in with this. There's no transitioning from here. Now he does have to be careful. His second gateway is quite delayed. Oya can get out. You can see he already has 1 more Dragoon. He's gonna have 5 Dragoons to Remag's 3. So there's a timing where Oya's gonna have the much stronger army despite being only on 2 gateways. I missed this somehow. Oya's range is actually much later than Remag's. Alright, looks like Remag not interested in moving out. He really wants to wait a little bit till these gateways kick in. You can see he's not adding any more probes. And this is smart because a pylon will give you enough supply for you to make 1 round of Dragoons. So every time you're about to be supply blocked, you make 1 round of Dragoons and a pylon, and it matches up. Can't really afford to produce non-stop units and probes at the same time. He's flowing a little bit of gas. This is normal. You get a lot of gas early game as Protoss. And now he's moving out, but this is the wrong timing to move out. He doesn't have enough Dragoons. You can see Oya has 2 more Dragoons than him at this current point. Now these 2 Dragoons are going to lag behind. They're going to arrive late to the fight. He does have faster range than Oya. And Oya is actually positioning himself to flank this army. He's going to be in a good position to do so. Now unit counts are similar. I think Oya has 1 more Dragoon, but he's going to get... Remag is going to get on top of his units first. Oya still out of position. You see the Dragoons reacting a little bit late. He's trying to get up his ramp. Now if he can get off his ramp, then he can flex this army and clean up all these Dragoons. And Oya's round of Dragoons just finished, so this is perfect timing for Oya, and Remag is getting caught here. And he just leaves. He just leaves. He just leaves. No GG. I mean, this is very all in from him, and he's losing his first 7 Dragoons. You see Oya has... This is another Dragoon that's going to die, and Oya just has an overwhelming number. And he taps out. GG, just like that. Alright, and with that, 2-2 or 2-0 from Team Sweden. We're going to go into another PvP, and it's going to be between Fisheye and Favorite now. Now, Fisheye substituted for another Protoss player, I think. I think it was LML. And let's go into game 3 on Neil Sufid. Alright. In the total clock spot, as the blue Protoss from Germany, we have red Fisheye. And in the bottom left corner, as the teal Protoss, we have IRK Favorite. Another PvP. One of the big differences of this map, of course, is that there's no ramp, so that should affect gameplay. We see sometimes more aggressive Protoss builds. Can't get more aggressive than a 4-gate, but I would say if, for example, Remake had gone 4-gate and it would have been on Sylphid, the game probably looks a little bit different. What really doomed him is that he attacked too soon, and when he got to Oyo's base, just like the perfect timing for Oyo's reinforcements to come and then flank his army. Really got caught out of position here. Or there, I should say. Pylons again in the main. No proxy business. Don't really pylon scout in PvP. Nothing can... The timing you want to get to their base isn't necessarily as soon as you can in PvP. You're going to do your build almost no matter what. There's the first gateway from Favorite and immediately scouting, and so is Fisheye. Alright, gas from Favorite checking the middle again, just playing it safe. And then Fisheye with the 12 gas. 11-12 gas doesn't really make that much of a difference. Now Favorite's gonna scout Fisheye first. Fisheye unfortunately going to the wrong base. It's not that important really on a 3-player map because you're always gonna scout before they have Dragoons out. You see Fisheye gonna go for Core before Zealot, and so is Favorite. Now Favorite, having gotten the scouting advantage, can know what Fisheye is up to. Realize they're doing the same build. Is he gonna make a Zealot, or is he just gonna keep making probes? I'll make that Zealot. You can see Fisheye without having that scout, he's actually making the Zealot just instantly. Either play is fine, but the Zealot of course does help against this, and also 2-gate. This is a fat miner pylon from Favorite. Managed to get 3 probes. Now 1 is still trapped. Now these should remain or continue mining instead of attacking this pylon. And there's a probe from Favorite. Fisheye's probe trying to get some scouting information in. This Dragoon is in production. They should have the same Dragoon timing. You can see Favorite finally loses his probe. And that pylon goes down. I think that's always worth it if you can get that miner pylon in. Really hurts the opposing Protoss' build. You see Fisheye somehow already 2 probes behind. Now this is normal to be 1 probe behind because the build Fisheye did, you need to probe cut to get all this out at the same time as the other Protoss. You can see even his Dragoons is slightly late, but he should only be 1 probe behind. They both lost their scouts. So just a little bit thrown off by that miner pylon and having to deal with that harass. Good pylon here. This will allow him to defend easier against any kind of mass gateway build. If you can position his Dragoons behind us, moving Dragoons that are coming in will hit this pylon instead of other units. Two-gate from Favorite. Fisheye meanwhile just gonna get Robo after 2 Dragoons, normal. Now build Favorite is doing, he's gonna have 4 Dragoons when Fisheye has 3, but by the time he gets to his base, including this Zealot, I think Fisheye will be able to defend just easily enough. He is delaying his Robo quite a bit to do this. You can see Fisheye's Robo is almost done before his has even started. There it is. Now the reason you can see Favorite getting that Robo instantly instead of just more Dragoons is because if Fisheye were to have gone for DT, this is the ideal Robo timing with 2-gate. You get those DTs out, but the Observer finishes just in time. I think Favorite can see the Robo. Yeah, he sees the Robo. And this is also critical. It means he can skip Observer. Doesn't have to go for Observer. Knows it's not going to be DT. Knows it's going to be some kind of Robo play. Observer or Reaver. Now he's trying to pressure. And again, here comes the 4 Dragoon timing. But these Dragoons are badly damaged. Now he picks off one and the Zealot. So this is huge. He can move forward again. Fisheye has to be a little bit careful. Whoever has the concave advantage in PvP. Alright, so that first fight went poorly for Fisheye. Now he's contained. He's going shuttle and then Reaver, skipping observatory. But he knows. When he sees the 4 Dragoons, he knows what Favorite was up to. You don't get 4 Dragoons that fast. He's gotta be careful. Again, this pylon, look how much damage this pylon has taken. This is very smart to make pylons like this in PvP. Oh, this is terrible though. Fisheye getting supply blocked here when he should be making his first Reaver. It's gonna extend the amount of time he's contained. This is pretty painful. This is almost game losing on its own. You can see Favorite starting his Reaver before or at the same time as Fisheye. So basically Fisheye's build has no advantages to Favorite's. Favorite's delayed his Robo and it's not gonna hurt him at all because he's gonna have the same Robo timing, the same Reaver timing, I mean, as Fisheye. Trying to pick off 1 Dragoon. The smart. Gotta be careful. Don't want to move out too far. And you see it's a little bit of dance, but Fisheye should be able to break out now. Very getting an observatory. Of course, he is completely dark. He only sees the Reaver. I mean the shuttle. Should know there's not going to be any DTs anytime soon. Looks like Fisheye, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to shuttle out some Dragoons? But he should be very careful like this. This is a very dangerous maneuver. He's not scouting his front. Doesn't know what's there. We have Favorite with the Reaver and 2 Zealots. So it looks like he wants to harass. So this could be dangerous. Fisheye could lose his main in this position and be completely fine, but if he can keep his Reaver alive with his army, he's gonna have the stronger armor. But Fisheye again not scouting, just has these Dragoons here. He's shuttling them out, but there's nothing containing him now. And there we go. Both players scout their armies, and here comes Favorite's Reaver heading into the main as Fisheye moves out. He's gonna have 2 Dragoons maybe, but 2 Dragoons is not enough to deal with the speed shuttle with a Reaver and 2 Zealots. This is just the perfect timing for Favorite. There comes the Reaver, drops off, gets a 1 probe Scarab, not that much damage. Here's another Scarab. 5 probes go down. Fisheye indecisive with this army. It's pretty hard to attack and defend from Reaver at the same time. Really has to commit. Now the Zealots as well, and he has no units in his main. Let's see how Favorite's doing. Favorite not macroing during his time, just really focusing on that Reaver. All he has to do is defend from this attack, and he's in a huge, he's in a way better position. Gonna use this concave a little. Fisheye has to be careful, not leading with the shuttle like this. Looks like he's still dealing with the army in his main. Kept only 13 probes alive. There's the retreating shuttle. Manages to get in, and now Favorite's just in a really good position. Has 2 Reavers and a huge probe advantage. Zealot's actually still alive. Even got some kills with them as well. A contain from Fisheye here, but you can see his probe scattered all over the place, and it doesn't matter that Favorite's on 1 base. He just has a way stronger economy now. You can see this. It's actually the other Reaver. Even the Observer coming back just to get vision makes this micro a little bit easier. Actually loses a Reaver there. Pretty big mistake from our Swedish Protoss. That was a bit of the Reaver bug AI working there. You can see it was in range of all these units and it just kept walking forward. Fisheye managing to get 1 Reaver, almost gets a 2nd. This is actually the original harassing Reaver. In the meantime, you see just mining minerals, trying to get as many minerals as he can. Has this contained, but it's pretty weak right now. You can see Favorite not actually a ton of mistakes from Favorite as well. Getting supply blocked here, but his advantage is just too large. Let's go, let's go. Look at the Reaver just walking all the way forward, not even shooting. telling you, Reaver in PvP, basically PvP can come down to who can control the Reavers better. Alright, he's forcing him back, and Fisheye just realized he's just 2 behind. GG. Unfortunate, just hit at the wrong time with that shuttle. And why is this here? What happened? Alright, there we go. Alright, so the score is actually 3-0 now. Sweden is up 3-0, and we're going to head into the 2v2 on Iron Curtain. It's going to be my first time casting that map. It's a very interesting map. Let's just actually go into that. Again, the way it works, even if it's 4-0, we're just going to go ahead and cast all the sets because every set is a point. And in the end, what matters in the term, in like standings terms, it's not like if you win 1-0, it's how many points you have at the end of the week. So every set has equal value basically. Just because the team is up 4-0 doesn't mean they can just not play the last 2 sets. It really makes or it gives more points to just win 6-0 compared to 4-2 or 4-1, something like that. Alright, let's head into the 2v2 on Iron Curtain. Alright, so first off, let's just look at the map and introduce the players. We have Favorite spawning in the top left on the same side as Fisheye, so we have PvP on this side, and on the other side of the map we have Marwin as the green Terran and Darkstorm as the red or the white Zerg. So these colors are a bit funky. Let's switch them up. And let's look at the map. So this map is split vertically like this. You can see the mineral patches here and some terrain that gets in the way. Means these players are effectively on an island, so airplay is going to be very important. Now they don't know which player's on which side quite yet. They know their allies aren't, but they don't know, for example, Favorite doesn't know that it's Fisheye on his side. Alright, another feature is that these naturals are actually very hard to defend. You can see Favorite, or actually Fisheye doesn't, neither player knows what they're doing, where they are. They're gonna scout probes now, and now they know. Now they know who's on whose side. You see Favorite saying the P is here, and then just getting some chat in. Marwin with the wall off is gonna be good against Zerglings and Protoss, so either way it's good. And looks like Zerg is gonna go for some kind of hatchery base play. Now the naturals here are actually very hard to defend from Vulture run-bys, Ling run-bys. We have Fisheye making a gateway very far forward. Favorite making a gateway as part of his wall. Barracks going down from Marwin, completing that wall, and no gas quite yet. Now, because he's on the same side as the Zerg, he'll realize, okay, how do I play this? You can play this like a 1v1, while both Protoss players are just playing 1v1 on their side. We can see some Robo mixed in, some Robo play. Reavers are going to be strong. Of course, Zerg is always going to want to go for mutas. Mutas will impact both sides of the map. And Marwin with the second barracks. Full scout with this SUVs. He's going to be 2-hatch play. Of course, both Protoss players just want to tech up as fast as possible. Going for 2-gate Zealot doesn't really make much sense when you want to get up that tech tree to put pressure on the other side of the map as well. We have Favorite actually mixing in more Zealots than normal. You see Fisheye only getting the 1 Zealot right now. We're going to see a Cybernetics core from him pretty soon. There it is. Nope, that's not his probe. On the other side of the map, we finally have a gas from Marwin. It's going to be 2 Racks Academy on 1 base against Zerg that's going to go 2-hatch lair. There's a lair. He's making 6 slings, and this is This is already something that I don't think is a good play at all. These links should really be drones. What are these links gonna do against a Terran that's walled in? They're not gonna help him attack, and they're not gonna help him defend either. Terran is not likely to move out. It's hard to get an Overlord across the map. It's not a very good position to place it. But if you make 2 links, you can just leave the link hanging out. You really want to check the gas timing from the other player. Let's see if he's still alive. And we had Cybernetic Core from Protoss. This is his favorite. His is still alive, getting the full scout. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any robo before range play from either player. Looks like favorite just going for that range instantly. Zealot actually has 2 kills. I'm going to assume they're probes, and here comes the second Zealot. So favorite trading his Zealots for probes. Decent damage there. You can see the favorite has a significant probe lead on Fisheye. Again, leaving that 1 link out the front is important. I want to see when Terran moves out the Overlord. Can't really get there safely. Okay, Dragoon actually taking too much damage from the Dragoon and Zealot, and Fish is going to be able or be forced to retreat. SCV is actually still alive from Marvin, so very good SCV control. SCVs don't regen, so having kept this alive for as long as possible is pretty impressive. We have 3 Sunkens going down for him, or for Dark Swarm as well. Let's see how wide this choke is at the natural. eBay from Marwin. There's the Academy, there's Stim already done, and range is being researched. Meanwhile, favorite actually on 3 gateways, so he's going to produce a ton of units. Fisheye, meanwhile, getting a robo and a second gateway. Now this robo is very far from the front. Really want to protect this gateway at all costs, so getting a Reaver over here is going to take quite a while. Links at the back, ready to pounce on this army if it moves in. Run by. With 3 Sunkens, I don't think a run by is going to be likely. First Muta's heading out. Now this is huge. This is huge. If these Mutas can get to favorite side of the map, he's going to have a big struggle trying to kill Fisheye while dealing with Mutas. At the same time, Marwin getting a factory. Marwin really wants to get Starport Tech out. Having forced 4 Sunkens, I think he's in a good position. We see Fisheye pushing back favorite. Now favorite's gonna have more Dragoons, so this early engagement going in Fisheye's favor is actually huge. There's a robo from favorite, and there's a Reaver from Fisheye. Reaver Tech. Alright, we have the Swedish team communicating in English, and here comes the first few Mutas. Now these Mutas arriving a little bit late to the fight, really want to help Fisheye in this engagement. Zealot's not getting much damage done, just getting microed around. Fisheye only has the 1 Muta, the 1 Dragoon left. The Mutas are arriving, but Mutas do pretty well against Mutas when they're even in numbers. Marwin unfortunately can't do much to help. He's getting a Starport and a 3rd barracks out. And looks like with the Muta support, favorite is actually gonna lose this. I think favorite is in big trouble now. We actually have a Sunken going down in Dark Storm's main. And here come the Mutas. Actually, favorite might be in. He might be dead here. This is looking really good for Team Germany because even if Marwin gets a tank and enough bio to break Zerg's front, the Reaver can help him defend. Only 4 Mutas here. Looks like we're getting a 4th gateway and a forge. Surprised Team Blue is retreating considering it's going to be 2v1 at least until a dropship can get out. Scans going down from Marwin. No upgrades on the Mutas. It looks like we have 10 mutas now. We have a shuttle with a Reaver. This is the moment. This is the time for Team Blue to attack. Looks like they're going forward. 5 Dragoons. More Dragoons being made from Fisheye. It looks like there's Marwin's army. Not getting a tank, just going for drops. Now the dropship is going to be key. The drops can help Favorite defend. Looks like the mutas are diving on this cannon, but they really should wait. The Reaver has more range. The Reaver will force a commit from Favorite. Reaver moving forward. Now the mutas only take half damage from the Dragoons, so using them so the Dragoons prioritize their damage is actually pretty good. Gonna kill this gateway out the front. We have cannons being added, and a third gateway, or a fourth gateway. The Marwin shuttling over some bio, and now bio will destroy the Dragoon muta army, so this Reaver is actually very important. Getting on top of his Dragoons. Looks like a round of Dragoons is about to come out. Cannon getting picked off. All the mutas have gone down, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Darkstorm. We did invest in the 2x mutas, so losing these mutas like this isn't free. Looks like the bio is coming in from the back. Now this could be the moment for Marwin to snipe off this Reaver. The shuttle is exposed, just lagging behind. Instantly targets that Reaver with the shuttle just a little bit too far away from it. And they're able to defend Favorite's base. It's like the last few Dragoons from Fisheye are going to be taken out. Gotta keep this shuttle alive. Good targeting from Favorite just to get as much damage done on it. It looks like a shuttle drop or a dropship in Darkstorm's main during all that. Now it's gonna need good muta micro to defend from this. Looks like with the sunken support should just be fine. Bio has +1. He's a little bit nervous with this lair being so low on health. Looks like he's taking out 3 mutas with that bio group. That's pretty painful. And now Fisheye's in big trouble. I'm surprised he doesn't have. Okay, there we go. We have 2 Reavers in the shuttle. He's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful here. Okay, Marwin scans, sees the 2 Reavers, and decides to retreat. Marwin actually expanding and getting Vessel as well. Another Sunken from Darkstorm, but you see his economy with all these Sunkens is quite weak. Marwin has the better tech as well, and Favorite is actually expanding in this position. Both teams have play on either side of the map. The only one who's kind of stuck is Favorite. Reaver's in Marwin's main. Oh, shuttle unfortunately goes down, so it's going to be much harder for him to save these Reavers now. It's like during this time, Fisheye has to be careful because Favorite's moving in for the counterattack. These Reavers are too far forward. Really want these Marines to come in out of concave. He's just trying to protect the Reavers as best as they can. It's like not the best Scarab. 2 Scarabs going to 1 Marine that was isolated by itself. Some more Scarabs going down. And even though this is a good trade for Team Germany, it was at the cost of a shuttle and 2 Reavers and a large number of mutas. And here we go. Here comes Favorite's attack. Now this Reaver is building Scarabs. Should be able to defend with this kind of wall here at the front. But you just have to be careful. You can see Zerg's muta number has been kept very low. Huge Scarab goes off there on that huge Dragoon clump. Very not really sure if he can commit here. It's like Marwin's bio that was transferred over earlier is going to come across now. Mains are drying up now. And here comes. Looks like 2 medics in the bottom right. But you can see the lack of mutas is really hurting Team Germany. Trading mutas when mutas are the fastest units that can help and the easiest to control, just moving them from side to side. Okay, Reaver's still alive and this is key. Really need to use the shuttle. Keep it alive as long as possible. The unit composition is better. Reaver Dragoon does beat Reaver Bio. Curious to see what Marwin's plan is to get on the other side of the map, or if he's just gonna keep going 1v1 with Zerg. Zerg is quite weak, but with this number of Sunken, it's gonna be hard to break him. It looks like Fisheye confident enough to move out. He's gonna have 2 Reavers again, but again, he does have the much smaller Dragoon number. And Marwyn still has some bio here to support with +2 already. These Dragoons don't have any upgrades. Reaver at favorites natural, pinged by Marwyn, trying to help his ally out. Gets a decent number of Scarabs. See, favorites economy is quite low. Another Reaver shot gonna come in. Gotta be careful with these strongly upgraded Marines. Muta's not able to do much. We see Darkstorm actually double expenditures during this time. Only has 1 on gas, or 2 on gas at his natural. Going up into Hive. Still no carry base for his air. Fisheye has to be careful here. Favorite has +1 on his Dragoons, and this is going to be a bad engagement for Fisheye. Look at the number of Dragoons Favorite has. Concave in his favor as well. The Mutas are coming into support. We have Vessels as well from Marwyn moving in. First Reaver goes down. Looks like an Irradiate killed a Muta that was very low. Defensive Matrix going down, and the Concave is just too good. Ambitious play to take this base from Darkstorm as well, and looks like Team Red wins that fight decisively, and GG. GG. So we're at 4-0. Now I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna cast the remaining 2 sets. So just a quick break, 4-minute break. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Sweden is up. Actually, these flags are wrong. Sweden is up 3-0. 4-0, I should say. There we go. Sweden is up 4-0. We're going to cast the 5th set. Doesn't matter if the week has been won for Sweden. Now let's go into the next match. It's going to be an optimizer PvP between Master Ray and Soul Blazer. So it looks like lots of PvP today. Alright, in the top left spawn, as the orange Protoss, we have Master Ray. And in the top right, as the navy Protoss, we have Soul Blazer from Sweden. So another PvP, another map without a ramp. This map also has a double gas main. But you can see the second gas only has 1,000 minerals. They still add up to 5,000. But it doesn't mean if you ever need a quick gas boost in the mid game, taking that fast gas will help. Sweden won their first week matchup as well, 4-2, so looking like a very strong team again this season. They were one of the teams to make it into the playoffs last season. Germany also made it. Really struggled out of the gate early season, but eventually just barely qualified and even won one match. Gateway going from both players, and both players gateway scouting as well. You can see both players really want to take that top gas. That top gas does have a 4,000 gas. Bottom gas spawns out really quickly. Soul Blazer checking the middle, playing it safe. Don't really want to lose to a proxy 2K. We saw yesterday Terror 2 barracks, the 12 hatching Zerg, and just won instantly. It is only a best of 1, so imagine waiting an entire week just to lose to that. There's a core from Soul Blazer and Master Ray. Now is either player gonna make a Zealot? Looks like Master A gonna add that one Zealot. Does make your early game army just a little bit stronger, makes it easier to defend against 2-gate as well. But you do it at the cost of 1 probe. You can see he's cutting probe to get the pylon out instantly. Dragoon instantly from both players, but the one difference is that Master Ray is going to have a Zealot. Now both players not scouting each other at all, going to scout each other last. And there's a Citadel instantly from Soul Blazer. Now the probe is going to get in, and he's going to see this. This probe not being stopped at all, no units out quite yet. Citadel scouted. Now, just because you see the Citadel doesn't mean you know what Protoss is going to do. This could be a fake out. Could just go into a standard robo play from this, even without a cancel. Just going to be slightly delayed, but it's a mind game of sorts. You see Citadel, you assume DT, but it also could be some kind of speed lock play. Soul Blazer's probe does go down. And there's the canceled Citadel from Soul Blazer. So Master Ray just not seeing that finish. Looks like we're going to see a 3-gate follow-up from Protoss. So big fake out from our Protoss player. And now Master A, you can see him instantly getting that robo. He sees the Citadel, knows it's going to be DT, but it's actually a fake out. It's a good play from Soul Blazer. Really going to catch Master A off guard with this build. Master A even feeling bold enough to move out here. With this one Zealot, that is not going to be in the army of Soul Blazer. It's actually wise, but not like this. Not when you only have 1 gateway. There's no plan here. And he's going to be surprised now. This is normal to see 3 Dragoons at this timing. It doesn't really indicate much. And there we have the Reaver. The Robo finished. No observatory quite yet. There it is. Now he's on 1 gate going observers, and he's going to be facing 3-gate Dragoon. He's going to be in big trouble. Dragoon's microing around the Zealot, making sure that Zealot doesn't get off any hits. 1 Dragoon goes down for each player, but now this makes it much easier for Soul Blazer to defend. So they're going to see 2 Dragoons pop out, and now Master Ray should know. He should know that Soul Blazer at least has 2 gateways. Let's see what he does in response. He's getting an observer still because it could be DT. But now he's in big trouble. You see 3 Dragoons against 4, 5 Dragoons. He's going to need that 2nd gateway instantly, but it's not going to be in time. There's a support bay. And it looks like he's making a pylon at the front just to eat some shots. And there we go. We have Soul Blazer moving in. 5 Dragoons should be enough. Observer going to see the number of Dragoons that are going to kill him. But not much else is going to... It's not going to provide anything else. Dragoons 2-shotting the Dragoons as they move in. You can see how easy it is to just break down with Dragoons. No ramp to help. And Soul Blazer just powering through nice targeting probes. Rear about a quarter of the way done. Not going to provide any value in this game. Master Ray pulling all the probes. You can see he has a significant number of... or significant probe advantage, or at least did. Soul Blazer really committing into the army to really catch Master Ray off guard. This was a canceled Citadel early game. Reaver pops out, loads a couple scatters, but doesn't get to shoot, and Master Ray taps out. GG. And with that, Sweden is up 5-0. Not gonna say it's a surprising result. They were one of the stronger teams last season, but it's pretty hard to win every single set. We have 1 final set left in this series. It's gonna be a TBT between Radata and Vadi. Unfortunately, every match has been a mirror match today. It's gonna be a TBT on Polypoid. 'Poid. I 'Poid. 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 'Poid Alright, in this red blue bladder. Yeah. In the top right, as the blue Terran, we have IRK Vadi, the Swedish Terran. And in the top left, as the red Terran, from Germany, we have Ratata Tang. Both players new in this season of Nation Wars. I've seen Vadi doing well in ladder at least. Playing in BSL, Ratata Tang, I don't know much about. The map is Polypoid. Pretty interesting map for TVT. You can see a lot of good defensive positions to be taken. There's a ramp, a huge ramp here. See the middle. It's semi-open. And then every base is on high ground. So it's easy to defend these bases. And you can see the map split vertically here. If it goes into late game, it's going to come down to who can take 12 and 6. Both players making depots. Now in TVT is going to come down to who goes factory expand and who goes barracks expand. Not likely to see any cheese. 2 barracks. Cheese is really weak in this matchup. Both players making a slightly forward barracks. Of course, the barracks only provides really scouting information. The value of the barracks is basically that in the early game. After a couple Marines, not really going to invest too much into Marines in TVT. Marines quite bad against everything that comes out of a factory. Here comes the scout from Ratata Tang. Slightly later than Vadi's. Now Vadi unfortunately scouting the wrong base. But he should at least not scout him or scout Ratata last. I see he's gonna reveal to Vadi where his opponent is. No SCV scout gets his fast. Now he goes in, checks, sees nothing here. He's gonna go to the other base. Ratata Tang gets in. Gonna see that there's no gas here. Now Vadi, let's see if he's gonna actually go all the way in. Not realizing his opponent is adjacent to him. There's the expansion from Vadi and the full scout from Ratata. Let's see what he does in response. He already pulls off gas, only has 1 on gas. Now of course when you go for barracks expand like this in TVT, even though you have the economic advantage early game, you are having to spend on a bunker and more Marines. Ratata floating off the barracks instantly after 1 Marine. Only has 1 on gas, so we're just going to see an expansion from him as well. Ratata going back, checking the number of Marines. You see Vadi is going to have to invest in Marines. He already made 2. Adding a 3rd and 4th. Going to need a bunker to deal with that first vulture as well. SCV wanting to get another rescout just to see what's going on. And here's the SCV that's going to make the bunker from Vadi. Now, because Vadi's in the dark, there are a couple things that Ratata Tang could be up to. He could be up to speed vulture run by, 2 factory push with tanks, but looks like nope, just playing standard. SCV wants to go back and check if there's a natural in a bit. Vulture heading out across the map. If there was no bunker here, you can see how this vulture would be able to do a ton of damage. But with the bunker already up, and it's only 1 vulture with 4 Marines in it, no threat of a run by either. And now with that vulture out of position, we can see the SCV trying to get back in. Sees that 1 Marine, gets scared off. Looks like we're actually going for mines after the 1 vulture. Getting tank as well. With this build, factory expand, you do have the much faster tank timing. Even adding a 5th Marine from Vadi, this is a bit questionable. Not really sure what prompted him to make another Marine. I see he gets actually the full scout, gets into the main, sees what's happening, sees that 1 factory spinning, sees a tank. Is it gonna see a tank? Is it gonna see a tank? Gonna see a tank. So full information from Vadi. Even making more Marines. So this is looking like he's gonna go for a timing. Not really familiar with this timing. The Marines are quite weak in TVT. Lose against every unit from the factory. And the barracks is going to get the full scout. Going to see this is a ridiculous number of Marines. Barracks still producing as well. There's the academy. And there's the army from Ratata. And he's going to have mines. And the mines will be able to help out in dealing with any kind of timing push. Going to scare Terran off a little bit. Even if Vadia assumes, or Ratata assumes the bunker is empty, seeing this many Marines is a little bit freaky in TVT. We're making tanks and Marines and non-stop. Have an academy, we might even see a medic mixed in. So we're getting siege as Ratata tank. Already have 2 tanks. Gonna have to be careful here. Here are the mines. One mine goes off on the tank. Now the tank has to retreat. Of course, it could get repaired, but this is going to slow down the push. Two factories with add-ons from both players. Third factory going up 4. Whoa! I was not expecting this. Why do we have a second barracks here? We have scan to help push out. We have a semi-wall here just to block this off as best as possible. And we have tank and bio from body. No upgrades on the bio, no medics either. Just a second barracks. Now, I don't know what's going on. Why does he have so many Marines? What's going on here? Again, look at the good positions you can take defensively on this map. These high ground tanks are going to be extremely hard to break. These are actually in range of each other, I think. They just don't see. Vultures wrapping around. And let's look at the barracks. Whoops. Man, I'm so confused. We even have Marines in this bunker. And Body's actually taking this third base that's towards his opponent. Now this is good. If you ever do split the map, you're going to have one base and then it's going to be a contest over this. But it's going to be much harder to defend if you ever lose a forward position like this. Again, these tanks I'm pretty sure can shoot each other. Second barracks not even producing. We're actually getting stim. What is going on? This is ridiculous. Ratata tank made up the SCVE deficit he had in the early game. And then some. But you see Vadi has more units. As a trade-off, some of these units are Marines which are not that useful. But you can see he's positioning the Marines behind the tanks. Vultures spread out all over the map trying to see where the third base is. I don't think he's quite yet realized that Vadi took this third base so close to him. There it is. There's a scan going off. Now he confirms the third base location. Both players getting a third base up. But Vadi's is going to be faster. We have 3 add-ons from Ratata. Only 4 factories, and from Vadi's perspective. So, what is this? The 2-2-2 build? We're getting 2 of everything. Third gas going out for Vadi. And just making non-stop tanks now. Tanks and Marines. Some Goliaths mixed in. SCV Scout gets wind of this move out from Ratata. So you can see these tanks just in time. With the range from these tanks, you should be able to pick off one before he loses any of his own. Other tanks just slightly out of range, and you can see Vadi's gonna have to reposition some of his units. Third base up for Ratata as well. It's like another creep forward from Ratata, and he picks off another tank. So he's lost 2 tanks Vadi has, and to 1 from Ratata. Has to be careful here. This barracks providing key vision. And here's a move up from the other Terran. And he's gonna see the medic and he's gonna wonder, what am I seeing? What is going on here? Looks like the transition from body is to go into Wraith. So tank, Wraith, and Marines. Tank, Wraith, Bio. I thought it might be for drop to drop Bio. Bio, even though it's quite weak, in this matchup it's weak because it can't stay alive in any fight. But if it can be used to do quick guerrilla attacks with drops, maybe it could. I could see it providing value, but I'm not really sure. Bio hasn't been able to do much this game. The German Terran slightly moving forward. This is a very patient move. Loses one tank there. I think he should be able to get one more tank. Yep. So he's trading off well. See the Wraiths coming in now. Now without any anti-air, looks like the only two Goliaths he made are on the other side of the map. He's gonna be losing some tanks. Vadi waited until he had 3 Wraiths. Of course, if he only has 1 Wraith and starts attacking like this, it's not gonna do much. But with 4 Wraiths, this is a significant number. Finally adding Goliaths now, but he has no anti-air measures at all. These 2 Goliaths that are at the front, you can see this army not accomplishing much, even though it did force Vadi back. You can see now he's way out of position with these units. He's just losing tanks at the front. SCV is trying to repair desperately. He doesn't want to give up this position. But the first Goliaths are quite late. Just finishing now. And he's already lost 4 to 5 tanks. Even getting +1 on his bio. Here the Wraiths picking off yet another tank. This is 6 Wraiths now. They don't have cloaks, so even just 2 Goliaths would be able to force this back. But I think they just got enough value out. Sniping off all those tanks. You can ignore supply counts in TVT. The real number is the number of tanks out on the field. You see he only has 4. He does have these 5 here, but again, these 5 not accomplishing much. You see the mineral only is being ignored. The mineral resource isn't as important in this matchup. 3rd add-on for Body, and now he's gonna make a control tower. It's likely gonna be for the cloak. Moving forward now, if you can kill off these 2 Goliaths, then all of a sudden these tanks are just for free. You have him moving in, cleaning up this tank and bio group that's here. Now it's only 3 tanks and 3 Marines defending Body's 3rd. If Rat Attack can get around, you can find an exposed backside to this base. But Body using now his entire army, bringing these tanks and Marines from the bottom side. Wraiths clean up the 5 tanks that were here, and now all of a sudden Rat Attack has a very small number of tanks. You see, he's on 3 add-ons as well, but he's just losing tanks over and over again. Supplies are quite close, but you see Rat has way more SCVs, and Body critically has just more tanks. We're at 11 tanks versus 2, and the Wraiths are still alive. Wraiths forcing the other player to make Goliaths is basically what their main value is. The power of TVT is the tank count, and every time you make a Goliath, that's 50 gas that won't be going into a tank. Now the Wraiths, of course, also cost as much as a tank, but they provide a different kind of utility. They give vision where you don't have. They're mobile. They can pick off tanks much better than Goliaths can. Now, of course, 1 turret can just ward off all these Wraiths. Very good SCV production from our turn player, just non-stop SCVs. See a couple of turrets being added. We don't see critically the +2 attack. +2 makes your tanks 2-shot the other opponent tanks. And we have another barracks being added. So 3 barracks, 3 factories. Are we going to see a 3rd starport? I mean, I don't know what Body's doing, but it's working. We have a stim in from just 2 Marines. Not really, again, the bio not really doing anything this game. But these tanks just not enough. Already sieged up. Picking off an eBay, the Wraith number is growing. No upgrades on them quite yet, and now we find an exposed spot at the natural. Another factory going up. We're getting, what is this? This is +2? Yeah, this is +2 for the bio. And +2 for the ground army. Now the Wraiths finally have cloak. Again, just one turret can buy so much time against Wraiths. They're not like Mutas, they take full damage from turrets. Again, I'm still not seeing the utility provided by these Marines, but it is not seeming to matter. Body just making command centers, taking his side of the map. And even though Rat-a-Tat has a faster fourth, you can see he's just taking bad fights over and over again. Body's positioning is very strong. This is some added pressure just having this base here. Again, moving out, but without any Goliaths, the tanks alone just getting picked off. Wraiths don't have any upgrades, and these do have 1 plating, but just too many Wraiths. By the time the Goliaths get here, you see most of the tanks have been picked off, and now with no tanks and only Goliaths, the positioning of these tanks is just too much. We even have a Valkyrie being added, and now the Valkyrie is extremely strong. It splashes all of these Wraiths and now makes them all very weak. But again, the tank count. Training Wraiths for tanks is good. No +2 quite yet from Rat-a-Tat, and Body's +2 is about to be done. We have Stim in again. Tank Wraith bio just cleaning up. Small number of units from Rat-a-Tat. Now this position is exposed. There's another Valkyrie. It's gonna help against these Wraiths. But now look at Body's tank count. Just moving forward, 11 tanks, only 2 from Rat-a-Tat. +2, almost done. With 1 Valkyrie and 2 Goliaths, these Wraiths are gonna have to be very careful, but you can see the tanks just creeping forward slowly. Again, this base is extremely exposed, only 3 tanks and 3 Marines, but just with this 1 ramp and high ground protecting it, Body hasn't had to worry about it at all. You can see Body is extending his positioning just forward, slightly forward every couple minutes, taking up more of the map. Pushing back Rat-a-Tat. Looks like that gas only had 1 SCV on it for a while. There's a Valkyrie. Another tank goes down. And we're switching into battle cruisers with upgrades. Still making bio, curiously enough. Mines being laid now. At this point in TVT, the vultures don't provide that much value. Every Terran unit is ranged, and it's hard to get mines to detonate. And the vultures themselves, other than killing off a few SCVs, not much they can do at any point of the game at this time. You can see just maneuvering around. They're actually gonna pick off some bio. If they could get mines in good positions just to provide scouting. Oh, it looks like we have a huge move in from Body. Now his tanks are on the low ground, but they are +2. They're going to 2-shot tanks on the high ground. Probably 3-shot because of the mischance. It looks like just overly ambitious. The 1 Marine actually providing value. A couple of Valkyries from Rat-a-Tat. Valkyrie splashing these Wraiths, getting a ton of damage done. 3 tanks left over from Rattata, but now they don't have any Goliath or Valkyrie support. 1 Goliath comes out, and 1 Goliath is enough against 5 race, basically. But just look at the number of tanks from Body. Look at the number of tanks. He has 3 add-ons, 4 add-ons. Body hasn't made a single unit that's not a tank from factories this game. Now he's switching into battle cruisers. You can see the first, actually switching into drops first and then battle cruisers, I think. The drops will give some value to these Marines, but I mean, I'm not gonna question the Marine play because it didn't really seem to hurt him, but I don't think they provided any useful value. And with that, Rattata, GG's. Just a weird game from Body, but very exciting TVT. So at least there was that.
Si te gustó este video, no olvides darle like. Y si aún eres nuevo y aún no te suscribes, te invitamos a hacerlo y a darle clic a la campanita. Recuerda que todos los días viernes estaremos subiendo nuevas guías y nuevo material, todo en relación con Starcraft remasterizado. Hasta la próxima, amigos.